So hi guys, I just went into the library to sit and do some work, and I look up across the way. I was in there for a little while, and who's across the way but the maintenance man. Yeah, the maintenance man that's been abusing now. Oops, sorry, I didn't mean to get a license. The month that I've been here. So this is what goes on. Beautiful tree. I love these. I had one in my old neighborhood by my home. So yeah, here's the police department over here, and I'm walking out now, pretty shaken that I didn't notice he was sitting pretty close across the way from me. So this is what goes on when you report these individuals, and certainly this is our police department over here. I have reported didn't mean to get those people in. I certainly have reported what has been going on in this place. They certainly have been in other places, but this is post-separation abuse. Now, of course, people will say, well, people come in and out of the library, people do things like that. Of course, you're going to run into people. This certainly isn't what we're talking about here. And this certainly continues to make jokes wherever I attempt to live or move or make a friend. People say, well, how come you don't have any friends? How come you don't do this? How come you don't do that? What they fail to understand is the nature of post-separation abuse, coercive control, certainly economic abuse, all intersects with these sorts of things to make it difficult. Because when you do meet a friend, sorry about the license plate again, I would edit these a little bit more, but you're certainly always on the run and scrambling to get away from these people. Now, there's certainly no reason, because he did see me. I got up and I said, oh, aren't you the maintenance person over there on North Main? Yes. Yeah. So this is what goes on. And it's gone on repeatedly, because when I left State Street, it was an ongoing joke. I'll be back, and different comments about snap, crackle, pop, so they were aware of this device, this burning device. I'm not too happy about the whole U-Haul situation with this man, because he pressured me into moving the van. And when I returned it, I was on the hook for another $150, which is very difficult considering, I'm on a limited budget. And as a woman alone, you can be pressured in. Certainly men do that with women. Nothing's free. I'll continue to speak for younger women, because oftentimes, you think, oh, the gift of fear, I forgot the author's name, I'll look it up, I'm a little shaken right now, is trust your instincts. And I knew right away not to let him drive the truck. He insisted on moving it onto the lawn, and that's what started the whole scam. I got inside, I had to check a few things and know that I was overbilled $150. So I went to U-Haul. They did stress repeatedly that the truck was checked as soon as I parked it. So there was an extra 200 miles on it. And of course, I didn't have any proof. So I'm going to find out a way to, they said you can take a photograph of the mileage. So I will probably try to do that, or ask them, how I can protect myself. Certainly do not let anybody in the truck. Who would have thought? I didn't. But scammers are out there, and I'm very disappointed that not only was that done, but all the other stuff that I encountered. Close to $3,000 for a month. And not only the harassment, but, constantly a nervous wreck to get the $1,175 back from my security, because any number of things, sorry about the license plate, would have prevented me from getting my security back, which is part of the scam. And certainly here, the Pine Hill section, continues. They're worried about revenue. They're worried about the loss of St. Rose. And the reason I'm speaking out is because I do, as a woman alone now, talking about issues concerning domestic violence, stalking. I think it's very disturbing that this man finds himself sitting right across from me in the library. And certainly had I known he was there earlier, I would have moved away. But this is what we deal with. And certainly the Archdiocese is over here. There's a Catholic Children's, St. Catherine Center for Children. And I'm very disappointed and concerned and outraged that you could do this to someone and continue to think it's a joke, and then show up in the library and again try to intimidate me. Ooh, sorry about the license plate. So I will continue to speak on these things because it's very upsetting and triggering. And certainly, for the little bit I try to get away from this constant harassment, I look up and there's this man continuing his abuse and his intimidation and harassment, and he needs to stay away from me. Be safe, guys.